There once was a skilled carpenter named Daniel who lived in a small village. Daniel had a reputation for being the best, but his life was far from easy. He had lost his workshop in a fire, and with it, all of his tools and savings. Desperate and broken, he wandered the streets, unsure of how to rebuild his life. One day, a wealthy merchant's servant approached Daniel, offering him a job. The merchant wanted Daniel to build a grand house on the edge of the village. It was the opportunity Daniel had been waiting for. The pay was generous, and if he completed the house, he would have enough money to start over. But there was a problem. Daniel's heart wasn't in it. He was bitter about his past misfortunes, and he began to cut corners. He used cheaper materials, ignored proper measurements, and hurried the project along just to get the job done. He figured the merchant was rich and wouldn't notice the shortcuts. Months later, the house was finished, but Daniel knew it wasn't his best work. He felt ashamed, but reassured himself that the merchant would never live in the house anyway. It was just another project to him. To Daniel's shock, when the merchant saw the house, he smiled and handed Daniel the keys. "This house," the merchant said, "is my gift to you. It's a reward for your hard work and resilience. I wanted you to have a fresh start." Daniel's heart sank. He had built the house, his own house, with resentment and carelessness. The place that was meant to be his new beginning was flawed because of his own bitterness. The realization struck Daniel deeply. Every action he took, every choice he made, wasn't just about others. It reflected on his own life. The shortcuts he took in building the house mirrored the shortcuts he was taking in rebuilding his future. Determined not to live in the shadow of his mistakes, Daniel spent the next year fixing the house, carefully repairing each flaw with love and attention. In doing so, he not only rebuilt the house, but also restored his own spirit. He learned that no matter how life treats you, it's your attitude and effort that shape the outcome. And so, Daniel's house became a symbol in the village, reminder that what we build in life is often what we have to live with. Here's the lesson. The effort you put into anything, whether for yourself or others, reflects back on you. Daniel thought he was just doing a job for someone else, but in reality, he was shaping his own future. What he built in haste and frustration ended up being his own home, his own life. Life is much the same. When we approach things with bitterness, resentment, or apathy, we often end up creating something we ourselves must live with. Daniel's story teaches us that every choice we make, big or small, matters. Whether you're building a house, a career, or a relationship, the quality of your work reflects back on your life. In the end, Daniel learned this the hard way. He spent a year fixing the house, putting in the care and attention he should have given from the start. And in doing so, he rebuilt not just the house, but also his own spirit. So, what can we take from this? No matter how tough life gets, every action you take shapes your future. Build with care, even when you feel like giving up, because in the end, it's you who has to live in the house you build.